I always believed that the love we shared was invincible, a promise sealed with whispered I love yous and dreams we painted together under starlit skies. That belief shattered the moment I discovered a hidden chat on his phone. I trusted him with my heart completely, convinced that our every word and gesture wove a future solely for us. But there, in a digital conversation cloaked in secrecy, his words revealed that his heart was already spoken for, a secret, intimate connection that I had never known existed. In that crushing instant, every tender vow turned to bitter betrayal, and the future I'd envisioned dissolved into shards of lies. I still remember the early days with a crystalline clarity, as if they were moments captured in a perfect photograph. We met during a sun-dappled afternoon at a local book fair, where the rustle of pages and the hum of conversation set the stage for an encounter that felt nothing short of destiny. His eyes sparkled with genuine warmth as he recommended a novel that had become one of my favorites, and I found myself drawn in by the sincerity of his smile and the earnestness of his voice. Our connection was immediate and all-consuming. We spent hours discussing our favorite authors, the dreams we held dear, and the quiet promise of a future built together. Every I love you he uttered resonated deep within me, a melody that I believed would last a lifetime. I trusted him implicitly, building a sanctuary in my heart where only his words could reside. As our relationship deepened, we began to make plans for our future. We talked about buying a cozy home filled with memories, about traveling to far-off places, and about the simple, everyday moments that would define our lives. I decorated our apartment with small tokens of our love, framed photographs capturing our happiest moments, handwritten notes tucked into drawers, and a shared calendar where every date was marked with our plans for tomorrow. His promises of loyalty were the foundation of everything, and I clung to them with the faith of a child. I never imagined that behind his reassuring smile and soft-spoken words, there lay a hidden truth that would ultimately unravel our life together. But over time, subtle shifts began to occur. He started coming home later than usual, his excuses growing more frequent and less convincing. At first, I dismissed these moments as the inevitable demands of a busy career, reasoning that even the most dedicated partner sometimes needed extra time for work. I told myself that a few late nights were normal, that the occasional absence was nothing to worry about. Yet, an inexplicable unease began to fester in the quiet corners of my heart, a feeling I tried to ignore, trusting in the strength of his love and the solidity of our shared dreams. One evening, after a particularly long day of planning our future, a day filled with hopeful sketches of our new home, the excitement of planning weekend getaways, and the comforting routine of our shared life, I returned to our living room and noticed his phone was left unattended on the coffee table. The soft glow of the screen beckoned me with an almost magnetic pull, and despite a fleeting pang of hesitation, I unlocked it. As I scrolled through his messages, my eyes caught sight of a hidden chat conversation tucked away in a folder I'd never seen before. My heart began to race, and my mind swirled with an ominous premonition. The chat was filled with affectionate banter, playful emojis, and, most shockingly, words that hinted at an intimacy reserved for someone else, a secret that exposed a side of him I had never known existed. It was then that I realized the terrible truth. He had been speaking of another woman with the tenderness and passion that I had once believed were meant exclusively for our love. I sat there, breathless and trembling, as the realization sank in like a lead weight in my chest. The promises he had made, the quiet assurances of devotion, the repeated affirmations that we're forever, suddenly rang hollow. Every word, every tender touch, now felt tainted by the knowledge that his heart was already promised to someone else. I felt as if the very foundation of our future was crumbling, as if the shared dreams we'd nurtured were nothing but fragile illusions destined to shatter. The pain was immediate and all-consuming, a tidal wave of betrayal that left me numb and questioning everything I had believed. In the days that followed, I found myself haunted by the hidden chat. I replayed every message in my mind, trying to grasp how I could have been so blind to the subtle signs. I began to notice details I had once dismissed, the way he'd glance at his phone when he thought I wasn't watching, the unguarded laughter during late-night calls, the slight pause before he answered questions about his whereabouts. Every little detail now served as a painful reminder of the secret life he had been leading, a life built on lies that threatened to tear apart the very fabric of our love. Unable to contain the mounting dread, I started gathering evidence. Late at night, when the house was silent and my mind was filled with echoes of broken promises, I carefully took screenshots of the chat, saved the messages, and organized everything into a digital folder labeled Truth. I compared the timestamps of those secret exchanges with the nights he had claimed to be working late, and the alignment was too precise to be a coincidence. Each piece of evidence was a stark, inescapable confirmation that the future he had promised me was a lie, a meticulously crafted facade designed to conceal a hidden devotion to another. I wrestled with a torrent of emotions: anger, profound sadness, disbelief, and a crushing sense of betrayal. I questioned every memory. Was our love truly as pure as I had believed, or had I simply been too eager to see only what I wanted? I sat alone in the quiet of our shared home, my thoughts a chaotic mix of regret and determination, as I tried to reconcile the man I thought I knew with the man revealed by those secret messages. The painful truth began to seep into every corner of my heart, and I knew I couldn't let it go unchallenged. I needed to confront him, to demand answers, and to reclaim my future from the ruins of his deception. I reached out to my closest friend, a pillar of strength and empathy who had always supported me through every twist and turn of life. Over long, tearful conversations at a dimly lit cafe, I poured out my heart, recounting the discovery of the hidden chat and the painful details that now defined our relationship. "You deserve the truth," she said softly, her voice both gentle and unwavering. "You deserve a love that is honest and unburdened by secrets." Her words resonated deeply with me, providing a glimmer of hope in a time of overwhelming sorrow and urging me to take action. Buoyed by her support, I resolved that I could no longer remain silent. I spent the next several days meticulously preparing for the confrontation, gathering every piece of evidence and rehearsing my words until they echoed with both heartbreak and unyielding resolve. I promised myself that I would face him not in a burst of uncontrolled emotion, but with the calm strength of someone who had learned that trust, once broken, could be reclaimed through truth. "I trusted you with my heart," I repeated to my reflection in the mirror, "and now I must reclaim my life from the lies that have betrayed that trust." The day of the confrontation arrived on a chilly, overcast afternoon. Our home, once a sanctuary of shared dreams and whispered promises, now felt oppressively heavy with silence. I sat in the living room, a folder of evidence clutched tightly in my hands, my heart pounding with a mix of dread and determination. Every ticking second was a reminder of the time lost, the promises broken. When he finally returned, his face was composed, his smile an all-too-familiar mask that now struck me as hollow. I met him in the living room, and with a voice that trembled with the weight of my heartache, I said, "We need to talk." His eyes darted toward the folder on the coffee table, and for a fleeting moment, I saw a flicker of guilt, a brief, undeniable sign that he knew what was coming. I opened the folder and began to reveal the truth, my voice steady but laced with pain. I showed him the screenshots of the hidden chat, the timestamps that confirmed his late-night escapades, and every piece of evidence that betrayed his double life. "I trusted every word you said," I said, my voice cracking as I recounted the evidence, believing that our love was built on honesty and mutual respect. "But these messages, these secrets, show me that your heart was already spoken for. How could you do this to us? How could you build a future on lies?" For a long, agonizing moment, he tried to speak, his words a jumble of feeble excuses, vague mentions of work stress, claims that it was just harmless fun. But the truth, undeniable and overwhelming, filled the room. The weight of his betrayal was etched in every line of the evidence, in every tear that welled up in my eyes. I could feel the finality of our shared future dissolving, every promise we had made crumbling into fragments of broken trust. The confrontation was a tempest of raw emotion, a collision of heartbreak, anger, and the searing pain of a love betrayed. I listened as he stammered, his defenses collapsing under the pressure of the undeniable evidence. "I'm sorry," he finally whispered, but his words fell like cold rain upon the fragile shell of my hope. I told him that I could no longer live in a future built on deceit, that my heart deserved honesty and that I deserved a love that was true. The room was heavy with silence after that, each second stretching into an eternity of shattered dreams and irrevocable loss. In the days that followed, I was engulfed in a profound sorrow, a deep, aching grief for the love we had built and the future that had been torn from my grasp. I wandered through our empty home, every room a haunting reminder of the promises we once shared. I sat alone, rereading the evidence, replaying the confrontation in my mind until the pain became a constant companion. But amid the heartbreak, I began to feel a quiet, steady resolve emerging from within, a determination to reclaim my life and rebuild my future on my own terms. I knew that while the scars of betrayal might never fully fade, they could become symbols of the strength I had discovered deep inside. A strength that would guide me toward a future defined by truth, self-respect, and genuine love. I sought solace in therapy, where in the safe embrace of my counselor's office, I learned to untangle the complex web of emotions that had enveloped me. I wrote fervently in my journal, turning every tear into a word, every moment of anguish into a line that traced the path of my healing. Slowly, I began to see that the pain, as all-consuming as it was, could also serve as a catalyst for transformation. A painful yet powerful invitation to rediscover who I truly was and what I deserved from life. I learned that while trust, once broken, might never be fully restored, I had the power to rebuild my identity and forge a future that was defined by honesty rather than deception. Publicly, the unraveling of our once-perfect love story became a quiet undercurrent among our circle of friends and family. Whispers of sympathy, gentle glances, and quiet words of encouragement followed me wherever I went. I began to share my journey on a personal blog, writing candidly about the heartbreak, the confrontation, and the slow, painstaking process of rebuilding my life. The responses were overwhelming. Messages from strangers who had faced similar betrayals, heartfelt notes from old friends, and a shared sense of solidarity that reminded me I was not alone. Every kind word, every shared experience, served as a beacon of hope, illuminating the path forward when the darkness of betrayal seemed insurmountable. As the months turned into a year, I slowly began to rediscover who I was before the betrayal, a woman with dreams, passions, and an unyielding capacity for love. I ventured back into the world of dating cautiously, each new encounter approached with a blend of guarded optimism and the hard-earned lessons of my past. Every genuine smile, every sincere conversation, slowly stitched together the broken fragments of my heart, forming a new tapestry of hope and resilience. I learned that true love must be built on transparency, that every promise must be honored with honesty, and that I was worthy of a partner who cherished my trust as much as I cherished his devotion. Now, as I sit in the soft, gentle glow of my modest apartment, a space that I have lovingly transformed into a sanctuary of healing and new beginnings, I reflect on the long, winding journey that brought me from the depths of betrayal to a place of quiet empowerment. The memory of that hidden chat, the intimate confessions that revealed his secret life, remains etched in my heart as a painful reminder of the fragility of trust. Yet it is also a testament to the strength I discovered within myself, a strength that allowed me to confront the painful truth, reclaim my dignity, and rebuild my future on my own terms. Every sunrise now is a promise of new beginnings, a chance to rewrite my story, to shape a future defined not by the lies of a broken past, but by the unwavering light of truth and self-respect. I have learned that betrayal, as devastating as it can also serve as a catalyst for profound transformation, a painful, powerful invitation to rediscover who we truly are beneath the layers of shattered promises. I now move forward with an unshakable conviction that I deserve a love that is genuine, transparent, and built on mutual respect. A future where trust is not a fragile illusion, but a solid foundation upon which to build all that is good and lasting. This is my story, a journey of shattered promises, heart-wrenching betrayal, and ultimately the triumphant reclamation of my life. I trusted him with my heart, believing in every whispered vow of eternal devotion. But when I discovered that his heart was already spoken for in a hidden chat, an intimate, secret conversation that exposed a love not meant for me, I was forced to confront a truth that shattered our shared dreams. In that devastating moment, I found the courage to gather every piece of evidence, to face the painful reality, and to reclaim my future from the ruins of deception. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of raw, unfiltered pain has led me to this place. A place where I now stand as a survivor, determined to build a future defined by honesty, self-respect, and the unwavering promise that I am worthy of a love that is real. Every new day is an invitation to begin anew, a chance to rewrite my story and to embrace a future where my destiny is mine to create. I have learned that even in the darkest moments of betrayal, there is a light within me that can guide me toward a future filled with hope, genuine love, and the strength to trust again. I now step forward with a heart that beats with resilience and a spirit unbroken by deception, ready to live a life defined by truth and the unyielding promise of self-worth.